So I want to welcome everybody to this morning's webinar. My name is Judy Feldhausen, and if you don't know my background, I am actually a certified life and business coach in 3 different schools. And so I've been coaching this kind of stuff since the year 2000, which was my first certification. And I got into synergy to help not my own health, but the health of immediate friends and family, and it has grown from there. And we're going to talk about that today. And what we're going to do is the second chapter of your Path to Prosperity book. So if you have your book, go to chapter 2. And last time we got so involved that we did the first half of chapter 2. And so today we're going to conclude that with the second half of chapter 2. So we talked about defining your why and knowing what you want and really digging deep into that. I hope that you have had a chance in the past month to really look at what your why is, because when you're going to continue further into your business and be successful, that's a great place to start. So we had talked about what Bob and I had talked about what our whys were, which was basically our friends and making a better place for our families and helping them stay healthy and passing on that legacy. So we talked also a little bit about synergy and getting to our destination. So today we're going to go specifically into a new approach to goal setting. And this is a little bit different than what we have taught in the past. It goes hand in hand with what we have taught in the past. So does anybody remember what a SMART goal is? And you can unmute your mics if you'd like and participate. That would be great. So if you remember, a SMART goal is a goal that is measurable, actionable. It is timely. It's specific. And I can't even remember the other 2 right now. My mind just went blank, but it's a goal that really has action and specifics around it. And so using a SMART goal is extremely important so that you have some time around it. And we're going to dig a little bit deeper into that. But Raymond Aaron, and I'm not sure who Raymond Aaron is. I was not able to find anything about Raymond, but he has a new approach to goal setting, which is to have a minimum goal, a target goal, and an outrageous goal. And this is a great way to look at it. So what I would like everyone to do here, and if you have a piece of paper in front of you, that would be great, because we're going to work on your goals in kind of a different way into this MTO program. So you know your why. If you can write down your why on a piece of paper, and after you have written down your why, I want you to take that why and attach a goal to it. It can be any kind of goal. For instance, it can be to make the world a better place, or it can be to sell $50 a month. Doesn't make any difference what that goal is. And so if someone could share with me a goal that they have, it can be in any three categories. And what we want to do is work around that goal in this approach. So does anybody have a specific goal, or maybe not their own goal, maybe someone else's goal? A goal that you or someone you know is working on.
So, Judy, I have a mission statement that I look at every morning. And there's two parts to the mission statement. So we'll just take the first part, which is blessing lives with better health. So that would be, an ongoing mission or goal that I have every day is blessing lives with better health.
Right. That's great, Dan. And that's such a great goal. Now, when you're looking at a goal like that, the first thing you want to do is categorize it. Is it a minimum goal? Is it a target goal? Or is it an outrageous goal?
So Judy, not to interrupt you on that, but so this is how, using Raymond Aaron's approach, minimum, target, and outrageous. So I look at blessing lives with better health in relationship to the number of units of Pro-Oxygenate Plus I can move in a month's basis. And so the greater the number that I move, the more people that I bless with better health. So looking at this minimum, target, and outrageous, minimum would be 150 units. So one box is 1 unit. A jumbo jar is 6 units because a jumbo jar is equal to 6 boxes of Pro-Oxygenate Plus. So minimum goal would be 150 units for the month. Target goal would be over 200 units. Outrageous goal would be 300 units on a monthly basis.
Okay, awesome. So what you've done here, Dan, is taken your goal and actually quantified it.
Correct.
So you put some numbers on it. And also what you've done is you put a timeline on it. So your goal here is for a month. So when you look at what Raymond Aaron talks about, is that he looks at that monthly goal to outrageously, what can it be for your lifetime also? So if you would do your goal over the period of a year, what does that look like? And of course, that's basic math, but you can then break that down to what you would earn on a monthly basis, and to give yourself an idea of what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your goal says for a month, and that's a great period of time, but let's break that down even more to what that would mean for a week. So we know the amount mathematically, what that be, 42 or so canisters in a week. Is that my math about right?
Yeah, so what I did while you were talking is, let's just take my outrageous goal of 300 units, divide that by 6. That would be the equivalent of 50 jumbo jars. And if you want me to equate that with regards to dollars and cents, then I'm on monthly auto ship. So if I can move, because I don't count my monthly auto ship as part of the goal. So if I can move 50 jumbo jars outside of my monthly auto ship, that's $42.50. So $42.50 times 50, that's $2,125 in cash flow through Elite Rebates.
Right. And that's not a bad amount, right?
No, I mean, so, $2,000 a month times 12 months, that's a $24,000 income just on one component of Synergy's compensation plan.
Right. So that's one of the 7 components of the compensation plan.
Right.
And so that's a great amount. But so what we're going to do here is to take your monthly goal and then break it down to a weekly goal. So what I have found, if I have a goal posted somewhere that is really big, sometimes it overwhelms me. So if I'm going to be doing 150 jumbo jars in a month, that's huge for me. So what I want to do is break that down into actionable steps that I can now condense into a weekly basis, and then even more so to condense into a daily basis. So if that's, can you do the math for me there, Dan?
Okay, so 50 divided by 4 weeks in a month, that's 12 and a half jumbo jars. And if you divide that by 5, because most people don't work on the weekends, you're looking at 2.5. So basically 2 to 3 jumbo jars on a daily basis.
Okay, so if you're looking at 2 to 3 jumbo jars on a daily basis, now we're down to actionable steps to get there on a daily basis. So the question would be, what needs to be done on a daily basis to achieve that minimum goal of getting those jumbo jars into other people's hands?
And that's where your action plan would come in, because you can have the goal, but if you don't have some way to create activity, then a goal in your mind is great, but it's not going to happen unless you create the environment for that to occur. So that comes back to marketing. And then you need to have some type of marketing plan to get the information out to people so that you can at least attempt to get towards your outrageous goal, but at least get to your minimum goal.
Right. And within that marketing plan, having a marketing plan, I believe, is paramount to having an action plan.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have that marketing plan, then it breaks down to the steps that you need to accomplish to achieve that marketing plan. So before we started today, you and I were chatting about video.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that part of your action plan is to create videos that people can watch so that they have questions and can see hope and then connect with you. Is that correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So having that marketing plan for videos, but now to break it up even further. And what we're trying to do is get to things that are easy to do on a daily basis to achieve your minimum goal that will then create your target goal, and you will then get to your outrageous goal. So things that you do on a daily basis that is eventually going to get to your outrageous goal. And your outrageous goal, it could be a yearly goal, it could be a 5-year goal, it could be a 10-year goal, it may be a lifetime goal. It doesn't make any difference. And that's the beauty of being able to use this approach to goal setting, is that you can create these MTO goals, but in any time frame that you want to have. This object is to be able to break the goal down to those bite-sized pieces and to have actual action steps that you could do on a daily basis to achieve that. So video is one of your marketable techniques, Dan. So what other action steps can be done on a daily basis to achieve your goal of getting these jumbo jars sold?
So it becomes a process of refining your marketing. So I use videos to market myself, and I post my videos up on YouTube. Now I used to use Camtasia. I still use Camtasia for certain things, like today's webinar is being recorded, and then I'll go in and do some editing. So it's easy on Camtasia to do that. But like if I did a 5 to 6 minute video on Camtasia, it would most likely take me about 2 days to be able to complete that video. Well, I found a platform called Vidnami. It's no longer available because they got bought by GoDaddy. But Vidnami took that same process and condensed it down to 2 hours. So it would take me 2 hours to do a video on Vidnami that used to take me 2 days to do on Camtasia, because Vidnami uses artificial intelligence to pick your scene selections. You still got to do your script, but once you've got your script, you just load it into Vidnami, and then it picks your scene selections. Sometimes they do a great job, sometimes they don't. So you can go in and edit. You can find other scenes through their library. It's really convenient. Now, there's a new program out called Pictory. It's not new, it's been around for a while, but they've taken up the slack for Vidnami going away. And I work with another fellow. He's been doing Pictory for over a month now. His videos on Pictory are as good or better than what he was doing on Vidnami. That's the platform I'll move to. Now, if I really wanted to be aggressive in getting to my outrageous goal, instead of just depending upon YouTube for my audience, there's other video sharing platforms. You know, I could go to Vimeo, or Tumblr out of Canada is beginning to get a lot of traction, and it's new and it's growing. And so Tumblr might be another avenue for me to put videos up. So once the video's been created, it like when you put up a video up on YouTube, once you've got it, your MP4 file, basically it maybe takes you 15 minutes or less, you know. And when I say 15 minutes, it's, you know, how detailed your description needs to want to be, you know, your tag words that you're using. You know, if you go through that process, you're maybe looking at 15 to 30 minutes to put up a video on YouTube. But then once you've got all that done, have not done Vimeo and I've not done Tumblr, but I got to believe that, you know, the material's already done. All you have to do is just access their platforms. And, you know, once I load a video up on YouTube, it's live usually within 5 minutes. Most likely that would be the same with Vimeo and Tumblr. Now, those are two other platforms that I could put the same video message up on, but now have 3 areas of audience instead of just one area of audience. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that is absolutely great. And so video is a great daily thing to do to sell the product or to get to your why.
Mm-hmm.
And there's I know there's other things that can be done. And I know specifically that you, Dan, do other things. You create a newsletter. And so it comes out twice a week, I believe.
No, it comes out twice a month. It comes out on the 8th and the 22nd of every month.
It comes out twice a month. So your daily action plan is divided into many different areas of marketing, right? You do newsletters. You probably send out emails to current customers also, or market to current customers, call to current customers. What are some of the other things that action items that, and this is for anybody on the call here, other action items that you do on a daily basis to get to your minimum target goal? Any other things that anyone does on a daily basis? So I know for me, education is extremely important. So being able to look at the different products and how I'm going to talk about the product, how I'm going to overcome objections on the product. These things are also things that have to be included in our daily action items. I was taught that there are 4 levels of actual learning when we are trying to create a goal. And the first thing is to actually not know what you don't know. So it's kind of like, a doctor studying brain surgery. So the first time a student goes into the classroom, they could not perform brain surgery. They don't even have any idea of the steps around doing that. And so not knowing what is even possible is the first level of learning. So what you have to do is to actually learn about what you don't know. You don't have to know it, but you have to learn that you don't know it. So my 15-year-old granddaughter is actually learning how to drive a car. And if you can recall the times that you either taught someone or were a student yourself, that first time behind the wheel can be terrifying. And that fear is because you know that you have a lot of things to learn, but you have no idea how to do that. You know, you don't know how to drive. You know, you want to drive, but that's where your knowledge ends. And so I remember the first time that she got behind the wheel, her eyes were like deers in the headlight, and she just looked to her mother and said, what do I do now? What do I do now? Well, maybe put your foot on the brake would be a good thing to start with. So it was a process for her to learn how to drive the car. And now she's actually more confident. She's still 15. She's learning. She's starting to go on highways, and she is learning the 3rd step. And the 3rd step is learning what you don't know by actually achieving it and doing it on a daily basis. And then the last step is becoming a master. And when you become a master, you do things automatically, just like Dan and his videos. Dan is a master at creating videos, but he didn't do that overnight. He had to go through the 4 steps, the 4 levels of learning to get there. And so as we are creating goals, we have to give ourselves grace, because everything does not happen according to our plan. And even though we have a goal, we have an MTO goal, we have a SMART goal, whatever kind of goal we have, it may not happen in the process that we say we want. So for those 4 jumbo jars that Dan wants to sell, it may not happen in the first month or the second month, or maybe even in the first year. But what has to happen is daily action items that will get there, to really look at those daily processes, create action items in our calendars, to create a list. Whichever is going to work for you is going to be the best way for you to achieve your goal. It doesn't make a difference. It's what your personality, what your style, what you're most comfortable with doing. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't continue to grow and change and become aware of new things that are available, new ways that are available. That's where the education comes in, to ask other people what they do, what they are achieving, how they do it, when they do it. Having a partner in business is absolutely the best way to grow your business. So whether you work with your upline, your downline, your cross line, or any other person, maybe outside of the business. I have a lot of friends and acquaintances in business that I learn from on a daily basis. They may not be in network marketing. They may not be in product sales. They may not be in health and wellness, but overall, the ways of doing business and the action steps that have to be done to get to any goal are basically the same. It comes down to marketing and selling and finding custom ways for customers to buy more, to buy again, and to become raving fans. Dan talks a lot about his funnel and how you come to a prospect down the funnel to become someone who will refer you to other people. And this comes through our daily action items that we do on a regular basis. So the action items that are in the manual, Path to Prosperity, are to first write down your why. Second, to brainstorm for the next 5 years. What does that look like? What does that feel like? And what is going to happen when those goals are achieved? Because just having a goal isn't the end. Remember that why that we talked about is so important, and it's the emotions around the goal that's going to help us continue working toward the goal long after that initial motivation or inspiration is gone. We want to continue the emotion on a daily basis, and when things go wrong, to pick ourselves up and look back at our why we are doing it, and to continue to plow along on a daily basis. Then to create our MTO goals and our minimum target and outrageous goals, or time-based goals, whichever way you want to do. I suggest both for your priorities. And then to review your goals daily. And when I see number 4, I'm looking at the MTO goal, but I'm also looking at the daily action items that have to be done on a daily basis to create that larger goal. Because without those action items, it's going to be hard. I remember I became a director in a network marketing company. It's the highest position in that director marketing company. And the day that after I succeeded the goal, I remember sitting at my desk and going, what do I do now? Now I have a new position in the company. I'm in a leadership role, but I have no idea what I am doing in this role. And I have no idea how I'm going to continue getting customers, because I wanted to continue getting customers along with my additional leadership position. So that being overwhelmed lasted until I could now start over again, start creating action items on a daily basis that I wanted to achieve. And those small little targeted goals will create a much larger goal, and will be able to create a long-term goal, and then you'll be able to actually live out your why, which is the ultimate of what we want to do. So that's all I have today for you. It looks like we're at time. Does anyone have any questions or comments before we leave today?
So Judy, I have a comment on the action items that you have. The one that came out is this number 2, brainstorm for the next 5 years. And I immediately thought that people go to college for 4 years. They spend a lot of money, hoping that at the end of 4 years that they're going to get a good job. That job is dependent upon how well they learn their lessons and the information that they take specific to the job that they want to get into. The more that they learn and become an expert in terms of, what's required for that job, the more that they're going to be able to then get a job when they complete those 4 years. But when people join network marketing, they don't see this the same way. Anything that you're going to do, whether it be network marketing or you're going to go work for someone, you're going to get paid based upon your ability to produce. And your ability to produce is based upon your ability to learn and become an expert. And there's so many things that we could be doing in the next 4 to 5 years in terms of learning how to market and how to effectively market to people so that we can, again, achieve our why based upon the time that we put into learning to improve our skill sets. And as we improve our skill sets, it's easier for us to get to those MTO goals or those time-based goals because we're learning the skills that are necessary to achieve results. Does that make sense?
That is so true. And the good thing about this is that you are learning and earning throughout time.
As opposed to earning and paying, right?
And earning and paying.
And creating debt.
Yes. So I had a customer, a coaching client that her goal was to quit her business and start a soap business in 5 years. That was her goal. And so what we did is actually had her start her soap business right away so that in 5 years it would be successful. And so she learned to do little things, working 30 minutes to an hour a day, creating a soap business, creating the soaps, marketing the soaps, creating a distribution channel, all of that after 5 years would not only be in place, but it would be successful. And it's because she worked on it a very little bit, starting immediately with daily action items that she could do because she had a full-time job. But daily action items she could do to get her soap business going and have it become successful. And the good news is that in 3 years, she was able to quit her job and do her soap business full time because she had worked on those daily action items just all the time in little steps to create a bigger goal. Mm-hmm. So any other questions? Okay, well, next time we are together for our leadership series, we will be in chapter 3, and Bob will be back. He will not be traveling that day, I hope. I don't know. I don't think I'll be traveling that day, whatever day that is. But I want to thank everyone for taking the time to be on the webinar today, because we know that an hour of or 30 minutes of your day is a big chunk of time. And so we appreciate you being able to be here and taking your business seriously enough to be on these webinars week after week. So everyone have a great week, and go and create some great goals. And I just challenge you to work on them every single day.